The second day of the League of Legends World Championship Swiss stage has wrapped up, and it was a fairly exciting day. Aside from the multitude of civil wars, we had quite possibly the game of the year. Let's break down everything that happened. What a difference a day can make. One of these teams challenged one of the top dogs of the tournament, while the other looked dead on arrival. If you only watched today, you would probably guess wrong about which team is which. Team Liquid picked an early game composition, and then promptly fell flat on their face. It started with a solo kill in the mid lane, and it never got any better for Team Liquid from there. Yosik wasn't strong enough early to bear the heavy burden of trying to carry Summon and APA. Contracts looked far more comfortable, and his proactivity put energy ahead early. FBI and Ignore broke up the Senaton Kench and did more in the early game than the Kalista lane that was designed to win early. By the time the mid game rolled around, it was already over, and nothing quite showcases the difference between the two teams today than the mid lane matchup. Despite faring well against Faker of all people, APA got absolutely chokeslammed by Palapons. By the time the Nexus fell, APA was 5,000 gold in the hole, down 1.5 items, had no kills, and posted 9 deaths. This was perhaps the most aggressively bad performance of any player in the Swiss stage so far. On the other end, Palafaker paid tribute to his idol and Orianna. His shockwaves did indeed find them all. Multiple times, in fact. And RNG now jumped to 8-4 against Team Liquid on the year as they record their first ever international victory as they look for more. Team Liquid, as a reward for your failure, you must run the best of 3 gauntlet with no room for error. Now what we have here is a classic North American international. The game, surprisingly enough, isn't a stomp. In fact, the underdogs are hanging around. Sure, there aren't many kills and there ain't any team doing much of anything, but the game is winnable. There is hope. Maybe they'll actually do it. And then one play goes horribly wrong and the game is blown wide open as their opponent runs them over. This time, Cloud9 and LNG Esports are our lucky actors in this tutorial play. Pudge's top lane lead was pretty significant. Making the Baron after the pause was a huge boon. But then Tarzan kicks 4 people into a Jax and everything falls apart. Scout continues to wreck shop on his ear, MNS continues to just exist and not much else, and Gala is still as good as ever. LNG are on the verge of making their first international quarterfinals appearance and are only a best of 3 away. Cloud9 are going against the drawing board as the next game may very well make or break them. Good luck. Mad Lions gave Team BDS the reality check to end all reality checks. Yes, BDS have been fun to watch. Yes, their weird picks work a lot better than expected, but at the end of the day you have to look at the facts. This is a 4th seed from a region in the downturn. They were upset by one of the most inexperienced squads at the tournament, and they had to fight tooth and nail against the PCS to even make it to the Swiss stage. Mad Lions may rightly get a lot of criticism at international events, but this team was better than BDS in the regular season. And they were better here. The game might as well have been over before the first minion waves crash. Elioyer won the Raptor fight, ripped away Sheo's entire topside jungle, and proceeded to put a clinic on in the jungle. Sheo could do absolutely nothing as he was starved out of the game and made irrelevant. Things weren't much better anywhere else. Brownie continues to underwhelm, and BDS were forced to endure a great punishment. Adam was forced to play a champion that wasn't Garen Darius Olaperset. What a horror. What do you know, his standard champion pool looks more like a puddle, and the Narwanecton matchup went as far in JC's favor as you think it will. I'm not even sure if Mad can be really that happy about the win. Hillsang had some really questionable deaths, they lost the Purple Baron, and Elioya wasn't amazing on Bel'Veth despite the lead. There are still many things to clean up. But, Mad Lions are on the board, and they did take care of business. The first step is the most important after all. The Mad Lions have many, many more steps to take. When this matchup was drawn, many people thought back to these two teams' first meeting back in 2017, where thanks to the top laner Archie, Levi had the fastest level 6 in their international play, as his Nocturne took over the game as game got the win that put them on the map. And what do you know, this game was a throwback to 2017. It was a throwback to the other 2 matches they played where Fnatic destroyed them to get out of the group. Oh right! People never really mention that part of the story, do they? Back to the year 2023, Fnatic won a scrappy, messy game as it devolved into endless skirmishes, and Fnatic were the team with the better hands. Noah and Humanoid were all but untouched as the Azir and Xayah shredded through Gam like wet tissue paper. Despite Kiaya's best efforts, the game got away from Gam. Nadia reminded the world why he should not be allowed to play non-mage champions, Levi was uncoordinated with his team, and the bot lane were horribly outmatched. Overall, it was the expected result, and neither team can feel too bad about it. Game are simply playing with house money and are just happy to be here. Fnatic get a bounce back win and notch the LEC their third win at the Swiss stage. If you ever wanted confirmation that Gen G are simply a league above T1 right now, here it is. By all means, T1 should have won this game. Gen G stuck Peanut on Kha'Zix, a champion that doesn't fit his playstyle and he didn't look comfortable on in the early game. Chovy was forced onto the Akali as Baker was able to neutralize his excellent laning thanks to the matchup for Orianna versus Akali. Baker got first blood in the blue buff thanks to a very poor 3v3 by Gen G as they continued their tradition of playing way too aggressively in international events. With a strong team fighting comp with good champions, by all accounts this was T1's game to lose. Yet Gen G won before the clock struck 30 minutes. Delights for Khan was a thing of beauty, Chovy had an excellent Akali game, and Dorn was the star of the show on the Rumble as he convincingly outplayed saves. Gen G have now silenced any and all doubt that they are the best team at the tournament from the LCK. Nobody else simply comes close. Even many, many hours later, I still have no idea what I even watched take place on Summer's Rift. G2 roared out to yet another strong start while Weibo Gaming were stacking up dragons. G2 had the kill lead, the gold lead, and a beautiful team fight comp of Yone, Orianna, and Rel. Yes, Weibo were putting up an excellent fight, but G2 managed to kill Deshai's K'Sante 3 times, Caps was out playing Xiaohu, and it looked like they would be in control for the rest of the game. All they had to do to secure their win was take the Baron Nashor. Oh god, no.
First damage is there, they take out Broken Blade, and that might just be enough as Yank is left alone in the pit, and it's a disaster for G2 Weibo Gaming, totally cleaned them up in the Baron pit, and that is going to be a huge lead for them now.
EU Barons, man. They're a thing of beauty. At this point, the game descends into utter chaos as Weiwei is carrying on the Vi of all champions. The Shy is back in the game and smashing Broken Blade despite the counter pick. An early Mountain Soul goes the way of Weibo, and the LPL 4th seed jumps out to an almost 10,000 gold lead. It should be over now, right?
Third, level 16 for him. Mickey.
They're trying to go for something here as Xiaohu just gonna beat Wombo combo. They finally found the engage, and they take down one of the most important members. That's a double kill now for G2. They find a miracle.
What am I even watching? How did Broken Blade go from a fairly quiet young game to catching up the most important members of Weibo in the critical fight? How are G2 back in this game? Why can't Hansama keep getting caught when he has 3 get out of jail free buttons? These are questions only higher powers can answer.
Hansama gets that ultimate off, and the Wombo comes in such a huge way for the side of G2. So many low health bars. Cap's still alive, but Light has to go 1v3 right at the end. Can he do it is the question. The knockup from Mickey is just barely enough. As the ball is in the front here, Caps will be able to take him down. The triple kill.
And then Hansama redeems himself by doing that. But despite getting the Elder, the game still isn't over as Weibo somehow hang on long enough despite both of their carries being dead as the Elder falls off G2. And G2 decide to go for a backdoor?
Wild TP! In the base, they're TPing it out of this one! Caps, he wants to end the game right here! He wants to end it right now! He wants to take the 2-0 for G2! He doesn't have a health bar though, and he's gonna go down! Weibo Gaming, they hold on to the base, oh my god!
My heart can't take this.
Weibo hang on and get the Baron, the lead has changed yet again, I and the rest of the viewing audience have had about 6 heart attacks by now, and the game is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. And the game ends with a winning fight by G2, despite Hans being the one who gets Sky out. Broken Blade Yone finds yet another crucial ultimate to stop Weiwei from killing the freshly revived Hansama. Mickey X and Yike peel for the AD carry, and somehow when the dust settles, G2 walked away with the win in what was quite possibly the game of the year. As a result of this, G2 are now staring a qualification best of 3 to make Worlds quarterfinals for the first time since 2020 dead in the face. You can call this game and both of these teams many, many things, but let the record show, you can never, never call them boring. If you ever wanted a measuring stick for JD Gaming and a demonstration of why everyone at this tournament is terrified of them, here you go. We all saw just how good Billy Boy Gaming was yesterday. If you watch the LPL, you know the talent level BLG can put on display. In fact, almost any other year, I would say BLG would be a comfortable LPL first seed and an outright tournament favorite. Unfortunately, they have to exist in the same universe as 2023 JDG. JD Gaming went out and made the second seed look like amateurs. I'd say Ruler should never be allowed to play Callista again, but realistically, what champions wouldn't he be beating everyone else with? Konami cleans up the early play to become an unkillable tank on Jarvan, 369 gets absolutely no resources and still serves as an excellent frontliner who's somehow ahead of DLG's X-Factor Bin, and Knight busts out the Vex and styles on Yagao yet again. DLG fall to a 5-19 game score against JDG on the year as the rivalry between the LPL's top two only continues to grow more one-sided. JDG are not letting their foot off the gas on their attempt to finally walk the golden road, much to the horror of every single other team at this tournament. Finally, D plus Kia are forced to play a top-tier LCK team. It goes about as well for them as it has all year. At no point were KT Rolster in any real danger as they put their LCK brethren 6 feet under. Every player that was expected to look good for KT was, as they slowly but surely strangle any and all hope out of DK. The former world champions can do nothing as they are swept aside with little effort. And now D plus Kia are staring death in the face. If they want to advance, they will have to win 3 straight best of 3s. And while they are expected to win their opener in this gauntlet, who they play next is left up entirely to fate. And if it is any team from the LPL or LCK, I don't exactly see them winning. When they wore the name of Damwon, the organization never had an international finish lower than the quarterfinals. As D+, they are now 1 best of 3 upset away from exiting the Swiss stage in last place. What a sad fall from grace. Thank you for watching. This has been Ed Warden, signing off.